press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello students, so welcome to the revision part 9 of G and NEET chemistry. So in this class I am going to discuss the questions from question number 61. Question number 61, which property of colloids is not depends on the charge on the colloidal particles? Charge on the colloidal particles ಮೇಲೆ ಯಾವ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋಫೋರೆಸಿಸ್. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ meant by electrophoresis? Migration of electrically charged particles towards the oppositely charged electrode. It depends on charged particle. Is it clear? So agar ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಲ್ಲ. Electroosmosis. The process is also carried out in the presence of an applied electric field. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. Then Tyndall effect. Tyndall effect is the phenomenon of scattering of light by colloidal particles. It does not depend on charge. It does not depends on charge. So that is why for the question number 61, third option is the right option. It does not depends on charge. Then fourth one is coagulation. Coagulation is also that depends on charge on colloidal particles. Process of precipitation of colloids by adding electrolytes. ಅಂದರೆ ಕಲಾಯ್ಡ್ಗೆ ಯಾವ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ನೀವು ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋಲೈಟಲ್ಲಿ ಆಪೋಸಿಟ್ಲಿ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಆನ್ಸ್ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ coagulation ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೈ Tyndall effect, it is not related to the charge on the colloidal particles. Next question number 62. Question number 62. Which one of the following characteristic is associated with adsorption? ನೋಡಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ adsorption of a substance on the surface of another substance, it depends on after adsorption randomness of the system decreases, means delta S is negative, and during adsorption some amount of heat is liberated, so therefore delta H is negative, and the process which occurs on its own, that means delta G is equal to negative. Hence in adsorption process delta S, delta H and delta G are all negative. Hence third option is the right option for question number 62. Is it clear? Delta H negative, delta S negative and delta G is also negative. It is a spontaneous process. Next question number 63. Question number 63. Addition of catalyst during a chemical reaction alters which of the following quantities? Catalyst ಹಾಕೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಯಾವ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ ಆಲ್ಟರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ activation energy, that is exactly right. Why? So catalyst which alters in case of positive catalytic reactions, catalyst which decreases the activation energy. So therefore catalyst alters the activation energy. Catalyst does not alter the entropy, internal energy and also enthalpy. So therefore, for the question number 63, first option is the right option. Next question number 64. Question number 64. Fog is a colloidal solution of. So fog andre nodi liquid in gas ant. Fog is a colloidal system in which liquid is dispersed in gas. Gas in gas colloidal system illa. Gas in liquid ಇದೆ, ಸಾಲಿಡ್ ಇನ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಇನ್ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ಅಂತಂದಾಗ ಫೋಮ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀರಿ. ಸಾಲಿಡ್ ಇನ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಸೊ ಏರೋಸಾಲ್, ಸಾಲಿಡ್ ಏರೋಸಾಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಫಾಗ್ is a colloidal system in which liquid particles are dispersed in gas. Hence for the question number 64, second option is the right option. Next question number 65. Question number 65. On which of the following properties does coagulating power of an ion depend? Coagulating power of an ion depend. Coagulating power, it is directly proportional to the valence of the active ion according to Hard and Schulze rule. ಇದನ್ನು ಕೇಳಿದ್ರಿ ನೀವು. Hard and Schulze rule ಏನು ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ? ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಕಲಾಯ್ಡ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋಲೈಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಹಾಕಿದಾಗ ಕಲಾಯ್ಡ್ಗೆ ಯಾವ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಇರುತ್ತೋ, ಇಫ್ ಕಲಾಯ್ಡ್ ಈಸ್ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ಲಿ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ಡ್, positively charged ions of an electrolyte, that is the active ion. That ion is required for the coagulation of colloid. Is clear? Then ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಏನು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋಲೈಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಹಾಕ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರಿ ಕಲಾಯ್ಡ್ಗೆ, ಸೊ ಕಲಾಯ್ಡ್ಗೆ ಯಾವ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಇದೆ ಅದರ ಆಪೋಸಿಟ್ಲಿ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಅಯಾನ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಅಯಾನ್. ಸೊ ಗ್ರೇಟರ್ ದಿ ವೇಲೆನ್ಸಿ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಅಯಾನ್, more will be the coagulating power according to Hardy and School's rule. It means that the coagulating power that depends on both the charge as well as sign. ನೋಡಿ, ಕಲಾಯ್ಡ್ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಅಯಾನ್ ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸೈನ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಹಂಗಾರೆ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಅಯಾನ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಅಯಾನ್ ವೇಲೆನ್ಸಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆದಷ್ಟು coagulating ಪವರ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ. That means it also depends upon the magnitude of the charge. So that is why. So options ಅನ್ನು ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ. ನೋಡಿ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ? ಸೊ ಇನ್ ದಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ both magnitude and sign of the charge on the ion, that is right answer. Size of ion alone, magnitude of the charge on the ion alone, sign of the charge on the ion alone ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ that is wrong. So for the question number 65, so first option is the right option. Next, question number 66. Among the following, the correct statement is, among the following correct statement is, Brownian movement is more pronounced for smaller particles than bigger particles. So what is meant by the Brownian movement? So it is the zigzag movement of particles of the dispersed phase in colloidal salts. This was first observed by the name of scientist Brown, Robert Brown. That is called the Brownian movement. So Brownian movement ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ zigzag movement of particles. ಆ colloidal particles ನ ಸೈಜ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದರ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ random direction ಅಲ್ಲಿ. So that is why the option 1 is Brownian movement is more pronounced for smaller particles than bigger particles. Exactly right. So first option is the right option for question number 66 ಅಲ್ವಾ? ನೋಡಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿರಲಿ, ಸ್ಮಾಲರ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಕಲಾಯ್ಡಲ್ ಸೈಜ್ ಸ್ಮಾಲರ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಸೊ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಏನು ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ? ನೋಡಿ, ಸಾಲ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೆಟಲ್ ಸಲ್ಫೈಡ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಲಯೋಫಿಲಿಕ್, ಮೆಟಲ್ ಸಲ್ಫೈಡ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಲಯೋಫೋಬಿಕ್, ಚಾರ್ಜ್ಡ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್. Hardy and School's law states that bigger the size of the ion, greater is its coagulating power. That is wrong. Greater the valency of the active ion ಆಗಬೇಕು. One would expect charcoal to absorb chlorine more than hydrogen sulfide. So hydrogen sulfide is more easily absorbed on the charcoal than chlorine. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸೊ ಕ್ಲೋರಿನ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಸೈಜ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ, ಸೊ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಸಲ್ಫೈಡ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ, ವಾನ್ ಡೆರ್ ವಾಲ್ಸ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಅಬ್ಸಾರ್ಪ್ಷನ್ ರೇಟ್ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಸಲ್ಫೈಡ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. So that is why, so first option is the right option for question number 66. Next, question number 67. Question number 67. A particular adsorption process has the following characteristics. It arises due to van der Waals force. ಅಂದರೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಏನು ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ? ಅರೈಸಸ್ ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು ವಾನ್ ಡೆರ್ ವಾಲ್ಸ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಪ್ಯೂರ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಅಡ್ಸಾರ್ಪ್ಷನ್ ಅಂತ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಅಡ್ಸಾರ್ಪ್ಷನ್, ಪ್ಯೂರ್ಲಿ ವಾನ್ ಡೆರ್ ವಾಲ್ಸ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವೀಕ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ. ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ದಿ ಅಡ್ಸಾರ್ಬೆಂಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಅಡ್ಸಾರ್ಬೆಂಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆರಿ ವೀಕ್, ದಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಫಿಸಿಸಾರ್ಪ್ಷನ್ ಆರ್ ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಅಡ್ಸಾರ್ಪ್ಷನ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಗೆ ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಅಡ್ಸಾರ್ಪ್ಷನ್. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಒನ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ರಿವರ್ಸಿಬಲ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ, ಸೊ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಟು ದಿ ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಅಡ್ಸಾರ್ಪ್ಷನ್. ದೆನ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಿ ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಅಡ್ಸಾರ್ಪ್ಷನ್ ನೋಡಿ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ? ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ದಿ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ದಟ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ಸ್ ದಿ ಎಬೋವ್ ಅಡ್ಸಾರ್ಪ್ಷನ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ option A, sorry, option 1. Enthalpy of adsorption is greater than 100 kilojoules. No. So in case of physical adsorption is low. It is of the order of 20 to 40 kilojoules per mole. So ಅಲ್ಲಿ greater than 100 ಅಂದ್ರೆ chemical adsorption ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Chemical adsorption 200 to 400 kilojoules per mole enthalpy of adsorption value ಇದೆ. So first one is wrong. Second option, energy of activation is low. Yes, that is right. ಯಾಕೆ? ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಅಡ್ಸಾರ್ಪ್ಷನ್ಲಿ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಆಫ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವೇಶನ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ, ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಅಡ್ಸಾರ್ಪ್ಷನ್ ಏನು ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಆಫ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವೇಶನ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ. ದೆನ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಒನ್, ಅಡ್ಸಾರ್ಪ್ಷನ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೋನೋಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ರಾಂಗ್. ಯಾಕೆ? ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಅಡ್ಸಾರ್ಪ್ಷನ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಮಲ್ಟಿಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಲೇಯರ್ಸ್. Then fourth option, adsorption increase with increase in temperature, that is also wrong. Physical adsorption increases with a decrease in temperature. So hence for the physical adsorption, second option is the right option. Second option is the right option for question number 67. ಆ ಎರಡು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಏನು ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ? ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಅಡ್ಸಾರ್ಪ್ಷನ್. ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಅಡ್ಸಾರ್ಪ್ಷನ್ ಯಾವ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದರು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ನಂಬರ್ 68. Question number 68. Adsorption of gas follows Freundlich adsorption isotherm. X is the mass of gas adsorbed on mass m of an adsorbent. Plot of log x by m versus log p is shown in the given graph. X by m is proportional to, ನೋಡಿ x by m it is proportional to p to the power of 1 by n. p power 1 by n. Is clear? ನೋಡಿ ಇದು ಜ್ಞಾಪಕಟ್ಕೊಳ್ರಿ. So amount of gas adsorbed per unit mass of an adsorbent is directly proportional to p power 1 by n. So we know that x by m is equal to k into p power 1 by n, or log x by m is equal to 1 by n into log p plus log k. Log k ಅನ್ನೋದು intercept, 1 by n is the slope. So therefore, ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಲೋಪ್ is equal to 1 by n ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೋಡಿ given graph ಸ್ಲೋಪ್ ಏನು ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ tan theta. ಸ್ಲೋಪ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ tan theta. ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸೊ ಆಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಬೈ ಸೊ ಅಡ್ಜಸೆಂಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 2 by 3 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ 2 by 3. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಆಫ್ 1 by n? 2 by 3. ಸೊ ದೇರ್ಫೋರ್ x by m it is proportional to p power 2 by 3. So this is your answer. So p power 2 by 3. So option, fourth option is the right option for question number 68. Is clear? Next, question number 69. Correct option among the following is colloidal particles in lyophobic salts can be precipitated by electrophoresis. ನೋಡಿ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, colloidal particles in lyophobic salts which carries charge, they can be precipitated by electrophoresis. That is right. So first option is right. Second option ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ Brownian motion in colloidal solution is faster if the viscosity of the solution is very high. Viscosity ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದ್ರೆ ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸ್ಪರ್ಷನ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಂ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ colloidal particles ತುಂಬಾ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. That is why option 2 is wrong. Addition of alum water makes is unfit for drinking. That is wrong. So it is a fit for drinking purpose, because so in the clarification of drinking water, potash alum is used as a coagulant to coagulate the mud particles. Colloidal medicines are more effective because they have small surface area. Colloids have larger surface area, easy assimilation. They can get easily adsorbed. So easy adsorption takes place on colloidal medicines. Is it clear? So that is why first option is the right option for question number 69. So for the question number 69, first option is right. Next, question number 70. Question number 70. An example of autocatalysis. Autocatalysis ಅಂದ್ರೆ if one of the product formed in the chemical reaction itself acts as a catalyst, that is called autocatalyst. Oxidation of nitric oxide, nitrogen dioxide, ನೋಡಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ platinum catalyst ಅನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ in the manufacture of nitric acid by Ostwald's process. Oxidation of sulfur dioxide to sulfur trioxide in the manufacture of sulfuric acid by contact process. So vanadium pentoxide ಅಥವಾ platinized asbestos, but that can be easily poisoned by arsenic impurities. So that is why so instead of platinum, so vanadium pentoxide is preferred. In the decomposition of potassium chloride, MnO2 is used. So these are not the autocatalysis, but oxidation of oxalic acid by acidified KMnO4. ನೋಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ ಈ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ. KMnO4 in the presence of an acid medium H2SO4, so oxalic acid H2C2O4, it is converted into MnSO4, manganese sulfate, potassium sulfate, then CO2 and H2O. In this reaction, catalyst is not used, but Mn+2 ion. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಆಕ್ಸಾಲಿಕ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್ ಆದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ನಿಮಗೇನು ಪೊಟ್ಯಾಷಿಯಂ ಪರ್ಮಾಂಟ್ ಈಸ್ ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸ್ಡ್, MnSO4 ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ದಿಸ್ MnSO4 ಆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆಸ್ ಎ ಕೆಟಲಿಸ್ಟ್. ಅಂದರೆ ಬಂದಿರೋ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕೆಟಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿಹೇವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಆಟೋ ಕ್ಯಾಟಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಇಸ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? Product formed in the chemical reaction, one of the product formed in the chemical reaction itself acts as a catalyst, then such type of catalysts are called auto catalyst. So that is why for the question number 70, fourth option is the right option. Fourth option. Next question number 71. Question number 71. Electrolyte having maximum flow chelation value for silver iodide to silver ion salt. Silver iodide to silver. So AzI to Az plus, this is the positively charged salt. This is the positively charged salt. So positively charged salt, it is coagulated by negative ion. This is called the active ion. So hagadre silver salt, it may be either positively charged or negatively charged depending upon the availability of ions in the solution. But our puttra the positively charged salt. To coagulate the positively charged salt, negative ion should be required. This negative ion from an electrolyte. Electrolyte having maximum flow chelation value. So maximum flow chelation value, maximum coagulation, that depends on the charge on the ion. So lower valency, so lower the negative charge, has maximum flow chelation value, maximum flow chelation. Lower negative value, lower the charge, yaudide negative, lower the negative charge, because salt is positively charged. Negative ion is required for the coagulation of positively charged salt. Lower the charge on the ion. NaTSO4, SO4 minus 2, Cl minus, PO4 minus 3, S minus 2. Lower negative charge andre second option le Cl minus ion barutte. So that is why, so for the question number 71, second option is the right option. Is clear? Next question number 72. Question number 72. So in the following reaction, the product A is, in the following reaction, the product A is benzene diazonium chloride is given. So N double bond NCl minus, NCl puttidare. So when it is treated with aniline, so it is an example for a coupling reaction. So NH2, so one hydrogen atom from para position with respect to NH2 group in case of aniline. So here H and Cl will manage HCl to form this kind of compound. So N double bond NH2. So this is called para amino azobenzene. So answer is third option. So third option is the right option for the question number 72. Question number 72. Third option is the right option. Next, question number 73. Correct increasing order of basic strength of the following compounds. Increasing order of basic strength of the following compounds. ನೋಡಿ ಅಮೈನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ನೇಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಮೈನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸಸ್ ಇನ್ ದಿ ಪ್ರೈನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಡೊನೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ಸ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಹಿಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ರೆ, electron donating groups or electron releasing groups which increases the basic strength. Electron donating groups increase the basic strength of amines. Then electron withdrawing groups which decreases the basic strength. So in the given question, question, CS3 group is there in one compound. CS3 group is electron donating group. It increases the basic strength. So therefore it has the highest basic. So third one is the highest basic. Then NO2 group is there. So NO2 group is the electron withdrawing group. The electron withdrawing group decreases the basic strength of amines because this NO2 group which decreases the electron density on the benzene ring, so that the lone pair of electrons on the nitrogen atom in case of amine group of amines are involved in resonance. Hence they do not undergo easy protonation. Is clear? So ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಯಾವುದು? ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಒನ್ is the least. So second one is least. Then in the middle, so aniline is the first one. So that is why your option is third, 1 and 2. Third, 1 and 2. Third is highest. Third is highest. Third highest is so fourth option is so least one, second one. So fourth option is the right option. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿದೇನು basic strength of the following compounds. Fourth option is the right option. Fourth option is the right option. So basic strength is highest in case of third, least in case of second one. Highest is third, least second one. Next, question number 74. Question number 74. Correct order of basic strength of methyl substituted amines in aqueous solutions. ನೋಡಿ ಎರಡಿದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. In gaseous phase, in gaseous phase, 3 degree amine, methyl substituted amine, so CH3, 3 times N, more basic than CH3 twice N, a second amine, which is more basic than methyl amine. So which is more basic than ammonia? ನೋಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿ gaseous phase ಅಲ್ಲಿ. But in aqueous medium or in aqueous solutions, secondary amine, dimethyl amine, it is more basic than methyl amine. So which is more basic than trimethylamine? So which is more basic than trimethylamine? CH3 thrice N. So least one is ammonia. Here also least basic nature. So your option is, ನೋಡಿ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಸೊ ಯಾವ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಚಾಯ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ? ಡೈಮಿಥೈಲಮೈನ್, ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಅಮೈನ್ is more basic than methylamine. Then tertiary amine is least. So therefore first option is the right option for question number 74. First option is the right option. Next, question number 75. Question number 75. An isocyanide on reduction with hydrogen in the presence of platinum gives. Isocyanide on reduction with hydrogen in the presence of platinum gives. So isocyanide or NC. Isocyanide or NC on reduction with the hydrogen in the presence of platinum to form or NHCH3 or NHCH3. So this is the secondary amine, 2 degree amine. So your option is secondary amine, 2 degree amine. So third option is the right option for question number 75. Next, question number 76. Question number 76. Which one of the following is the strongest base in aqueous solution? Strongest base in aqueous solution. So previous question ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ನಾನು. Strongest base ಅನ್ನರ್ಥ it undergoes easy protonation. Lone pair of electrons on the nitrogen atom in amines, if they are easily available for coordination with proton, then that is the strongest base. So secondary amine, dimethyl amine is the strongest base. So fourth option is the right option in case of an aqueous medium. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಡೈಮಿಥೈಲ್ ಅಮೈನ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಯಾವ್ದು ಬರುತ್ತಾಗಾರೆ? ಸೊ ಮಿಥೈಲ್ ಅಮೈನ್, ಟ್ರೈಮಿಥೈಲ್ ಅಮೈನ್ is least. Then aniline is lowest basic because in aniline lone pair of electrons on the nitrogen atom they involved in resonance. Hence lone pair of electrons are not available for coordination with proton. That is why third option is least, fourth option is highest, strongest base is the fourth option. Next, Question number 77. Question number 77. For the question number 77, para-aminotoluene that is subjected to acetylation. Note, the compound is subjected to acetylation. So CH3NH2, para-toluene. It is subjected to acetylation, CS3CO twice O. Acetylation of this para-toluene gives para-acetanilide. So CS3 as it is. So here NHCO CS3. So this is A. Nodal kuttarli idi A agutte. Then on treatment with bromine in the presence of acetic acid medium. On treatment with bromine, it is treated with bromine in the presence of acetic acid medium CS3COH. It gives bromination. So with respect to this amide group, bromine atom is substituted to the ortho position to form the compound. So here CH3, Br, then NHCOCS3. So bromine atom is substituted to the ortho position with respect to this amide group. Then it is subjected to hydrolysis, acid hydrolysis. So this amide group is converted back into amine group to form the final product CH3. So here NH2Br. This is the final compound. This final compound is, so in the option 2. Second option is the right option for question number 77. Second option. Next, question number 78. Question number 78. ನೋಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ದಿ ಫಾಲೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಕ್ವಶನ್ ನಂಬರ್ 78 ನೋಡಿ, ಸಯನೈಡ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. ಸಯನೈಡ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಗೋಲ್ಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸಿಲ್ವರ್, ಗೋಲ್ಡ್ ಸಿಲ್ವರ್ ಪ್ಲಾಟಿನಮ್. ಸಯನೈಡ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎ. ಸೊ ಯಾವ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲಿ? ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಗೋಲ್ಡ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಫೋರ್ತ್. ಎ ಫೋರ್ತ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಎ ಫೋರ್ತ್. In the B, froth flotation process, it is a method of concentration of force, dressing of zinc sulfide. So B is second option, second one dressing of zinc sulfide. C, electrolytic reduction. Electrolytic reduction, extraction of aluminium. So alkali metals, the alkaline earth metals, and also extraction of aluminium. So it is so part C, C3 match one. Then D, zone refining method. So it is in this method, ultra pure metals can be extracted. So ultra pure metal is germanium. So therefore D1. ನೋಡಿ ಯಾವ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಚಾಯ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. A4, B2, C3, D1. ಸೊ ಆಪ್ಷನ್, ಸೊ ಫಾರ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ನಂಬರ್ 78, A4, B2, C3, D1, second option. So second option is the right option. Next, question number 79. Question number 79. Extraction of gold and silver involves leaching with cyanide ion. Silver is later recovered by, note this is comes under the hydrometallurgical process, or it is also comes under the leaching process. Is clear? Extraction of gold and silver involves the leaching with the cyanide ion. Note when, so either gold or silver. So in this case, liquation is extraction of gold and silver involves leaching with cyanide ion. Silver is later recovered by ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Liquation method, that is applied only for the metal which possess low melting points. Distillation, low boiling points. Zone refining method, to obtain the ultra pure metals. Displacement with zinc. So fourth option is right option because nodile. So either silver or gold. So when it is treated with its aqueous solution, H2O. In the presence of oxygen, cyanide ion is used. Is it clear? So to form, so in this case, so AgCN twice minus. This is the compound obtained. So along with the formation of NaOH, then this complex ion AgCN twice minus, which is so in this complex silver is displaced by zinc to form. So ZnCN4 minus 2, and along with the formation of Ag. So here silver gets precipitated by using zinc. So that is why, so the fourth option is the right option for the question number 79. Is clear? Displacement with zinc antide, that is the right option for question number 79. Next, question number 80. Question number 80. A metal contains metal oxide as impurity. Method used to refine this metal is. So the principle involved in the process, different the refining of metals, Pauling method. So Pauling method is the right option for question number 80. So because in Pauling method, metal containing its own oxides as impurities, in such cases, the fresh cut wood pieces are added to the molten metals. The fresh cut wood pieces burns and which produces the hydrocarbon gases. Those hydrocarbon gases which reduces metal oxides to the metals. So that is why if a metal which contains its own oxides as impurity, they can be refined by Pauling method. Liquefaction method is applied for the metals and the impurities which are differing by their low melting points. And in case of cupellation is applied only for the silver, refining of silver. Distillation, zinc and mercury. Is clear? Distillation method andre alli easy volatile ಆಗ್ತಕ್ಕಂತ ಒಂದು metal content ಇರಬೇಕು than the impurities. So that is why first option is the right option for question number 80. Next question number 81. Question number 81. Which chemical is used for leaching of gold ore and what is the product obtained? Now which chemical is used anta kelidare. So in case of leaching process in the extraction of gold, silver and platinum, so chemical reagent used is either sodium cyanide or potassium cyanide is preferred. Then what is the product formed anta kelidare? When sodium cyanide or potassium cyanide is added, so in the extraction of gold, so Au plus O2 plus H2O plus NaCN or KCN, so we get so KAuCN twice if potassium cyanide is used, or if instead of sodium cyanide is used, in such cases NaAuCN twice is obtained. So therefore your option is AuCN to KCN and KAuCN twice. KCN and either sodium cyanide or KCN ಯಾವುದು ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. KAuCN twice. So therefore your option is second option. So for question number 81, second option is the right option. Next question number 82. Question number 82. Electrolytic refining is used to purify which of the following metals? Electrolytic refining. Copper and zinc are extracted by electrolytic refining. That is right. Germanium and silicon by zone refining method. Zirconium and titanium by Van Arkel method. Zinc and mercury by distillation method. Is clear? So these are the different electro-refining process, but electrolytic refining anta kelidrinda, so first option for the question number 82. zinc and copper are refined by electro refining method. Germanium and silicon by zone refining method. Zirconium and titanium by Van Arkel method. Zinc and mercury by distillation method. Electro refining method is copper and zinc. Next, question number 83. Question number 83. In a protein molecule, various amino acids are linked together by. Now, within the primary structure of proteins and the so in case of proteins, all amino acids are interlinked by. So protein is or so NH2, CHR, NH2, so COOH. It's clear. This is the structure of amino acid. Then another amino acid is NH2CHR, COOH. So here, so OH group of COH group of, so OH part from COH group of one amino acid and hydrogen from NH2 group from another amino acid, that is eliminated as water. Condensation polymers anta kariತೀವಿ. So in this case we get CONH bond is generated. This is called a peptide bond. So ಇದು continue ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. So therefore in case of proteins, all amino acids are interlinked by peptide bonds. Dative bond ಅಂದ್ರೆ coordinate bond. So the complex coordination compounds ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತದೆ. Alpha glycosidic and beta glycosidic bonds, they can be observed in case of carbohydrates. Peptide bond can be observed in case of proteins. So that is why for the question number 83, so fourth option is the right option. Next question number 84. Question number 84. Which of the following compounds can form Zwitter ions? So what are Zwitter ions? They are the doubly charged ions. They contains both positive and negative charge. Doubly charged. Angare ಎರಡು charge ಬರಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೋಡಿ. So which of the following compound forms Zwitter ions andre the compound should contains both. So question number 84. The compound should contain should contain both acidic as well as basic group. Acidic as well as basic group. Such compounds can form Zwitter ions. ನೋಡಿ ಯಾವ್ದು ಇರಬಹುದು ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ರೆ. ಬೆಂಜಾಯಿಕ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಕಾಂಪೌಂಡ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಇದೆ, ಅಸಿಟಾನಿಲೈಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಲ್ಲ. ಅಸಿಟಾನಿಲೈಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ NHCOCH ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಇದೆ. ಅನಿಲೀನ್ ಸೊ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಇದೆ. ಗ್ಲೈಸಿನ್ ಈಸ್ NH2CH2COOH. This is the acidic group, this is the basic group which contains both acidic and basic group. It can form Zwitter ion. So therefore for the question number 84, so fourth option is the right option. Next, question number 85. Complete hydrolysis of starch gives. So when starch on hydrolysis, so look at the equation. Starch is completely hydrolyzed. So finally we get glucose. But intermediate compounds ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು starch on hydrolysis we get glucose is only the final compound. It's clear. So glucose is the final compound. So option, third option. Next question number 86. Question number 86. Non-essential amino acid among the following is valine. It is an essential amino acid because it cannot be synthesized in our body. Leucine is non-essential. Alanine is an non-essential amino acid because which can be synthesized in our body. Alanine is non-essential. It is the non-essential amino acid. ನಮಗೆ ಬೇಕಾಗದಿರೋದು ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ they can be synthesized in our body. So they are called non-essential amino acids. So which one? Alanine. Valine, leucine and lysine, these are the essential amino acids because they cannot be synthesized in our body, but they must be required to our diet. Hence, option 1, 2 and 4 are essential. Alanine is only non-essential amino acid. Hence, for the question number 86, third option is the right option. Next, question number 87. 87. Amylopectin is composed of, amylopectin antakantadu, it is the branched chain polymer. Amylopectin is the branched chain polymer. Nodi, amylopectin and amylose, these are the two components of starch. Starch alli eradu idave, amylose and amylopectin. In case of amylopectin is the branched chain polysaccharide. So amylopectin is branched chain. So agara branched chain andre number of chains ಇಲ್ಲಿ formation ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. Within the chain, glucose units are interlinked by alpha 1,4 glycosidic bond. Alpha 1,4 glycosidic bond. ಇಲ್ಲಿ within the chain. So within chain. But adjacent chains ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ, adjacent chains ಅಲ್ಲಿ alpha 1,6 glycosidic bond. Alpha 1,6 glycosidic bond. So therefore, alpha D glucose C1C4 1,4 ಅಂದ್ರೆ alpha 1,4. Next 1,6 ಅಂದ್ರೆ alpha 1,6. So therefore, for the question number 87, third option is the right option. So third option is the right option. Amylopectin is the branched chain polysaccharide which is composed of large number of alpha D glucopyroxenates. All the glucopyroxenates within the chain, they are linked by alpha 1,4 glycosidic bond. Means first carbon atom of one glucosinate, fourth carbon atom of other glucosinate through oxygen linked ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. But the adjacent chains, it is a branched chain ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ಒಂದು chain ಅಲ್ಲಿರ ಒಂದು ಗ್ಲುಕೋಸಿನೇಟ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಆಟಮ್, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು chain ಅಲ್ಲಿ 6 ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಆಟಮ್, alpha 1,6 and alpha 1,4. Next question number 88. Question number 88. So 87 is third option. So question number 88. In acidic medium, amino acid exists as. In acidic medium, amino acids. The structure of amino acid is RCH NH2 COOH. This is the structure of amino acid. But all amino acids exist in the form of zwitter ions in its aqueous medium. Is it clear? Zwitter ion andre no, COH group can donate proton, one H plus kalkondre COO minus. And due to the presence of lone pair of electrons on the nitrogen atom, it can accept one proton. So therefore, we get NH3 plus. Molecules which contains both, the same molecule which contains both positive and negative charge. So eradu charge onde molecule alidre, so they are called zwitter ions, dipolar ions. Dipolar, ಎರಡು ಎಂಡಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು. So in an acid medium, ಅಂದ್ರೆ in the presence of H plus. So H plus which is attracted by this negative end of this group, dipolar ion. So ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಏನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ, RCH NH3 plus COOH. So it exists in the form of cation. So that is why this ion, it moves towards cathode. So this ion moves towards cathode. ಯಾಕೆ ಕ್ಯಾಥೋಡ್ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, it exists in the form of positively charged ion. So in acid medium, all the amino acids exist in the form of cations or positively charged ions. These positively charged ions move towards cathode in the applied electric field. Is clear? So ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಈಗ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ನಂಬರ್ 88 ಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, NH3 plus end exist ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ third option is the right option. So third option is the right option. Next, question number 89. Which of the following statement is not correct? Amino acid can exist as inert salt. So inert salt ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎರಡು ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು. ಸೊ ಎರಡು ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಅಂದರೆ ಅಕ್ವಿಯಸ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಬಲ್ ಮಾತ್ರ, ನಾಟ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಂತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಇಸ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಡೈಪೋಲಾರ್ ಅಯಾನ್ ಫಾರ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸಿಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ ಸಾಲ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಈಚ್ ಪಾಲಿಪೆಪ್ಟೈಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಒನ್ ಸಿ ಟರ್ಮಿನಲ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅದರ್ ಎನ್ ಟರ್ಮಿನಲ್. ನೋಡಿ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ಲೇ, ಒನ್ ಸಿ ಟರ್ಮಿನಲ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅದರ್ ಎನ್ ಟರ್ಮಿನಲ್. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ರೈಟ್. Enzymes are naturally occurring simple proteins. Union of two amino acids produces two peptide linkages. Not union of two amino acids. Two peptide linkages antara union of three amino acids can produce two peptide bonds. That is why fourth option is wrong. Fourth option is the wrong option. Hence, for the question number 89, fourth one is wrong. So 89, fourth one is not correct. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬರಬೇಕಾಯ್ತು? 2 peptides ಅಂತ ಬರಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಸೊ 1 peptide ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, ಸೊ ಯೂನಿಯನ್ ಆಫ್ 2 peptides, 1 peptide ಬರಬೇಕು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ನಂಬರ್ 90. Reaction of glucose with red phosphorus and hydrochloric acid is called. So when glucose, it is reduced by hydrochloric acid in the presence of red phosphorus. Note C6 H12O6, which is reduced by hydrochloric acid in the presence of red phosphorus. So it is a powerful or very strong reducing agent. So therefore, glucose is reduced to N-hexane. So CH3, CH2, 4 times CH3. So N-hexane is the hydrocarbon which is formed by the reaction between glucose and hydrochloric acid in the presence of red phosphorus. So this is an example for a reduction reaction. Reduction reaction. Reduction reaction. So question number 90. So answer fourth one. Fourth option is the right option. Reduction. Sandmeyer's reaction ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಬೆಂಜಿನ್ ಡೈಸೋನಿಯಂ ಕ್ಲೋರೈಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸಾಗ ಯಾವ ಪಾಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಇರಲ್ಲ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ glucose to N-hexane. Okay? Thank you. So I will continue in the next class.